here as well. Hi, everybody. I'm super excited to be here for our retreat call. Give me one moment while we go ahead and get live, hopefully live on Facebook. Of course, sometimes this is why I do Zoom and try to go multiple places. For some reason, it's not showing a video source, and I don't know why. All right, so we're going to go ahead and have to skip Facebook. We'll just do it here on YouTube and Zoom, and then we'll share it into Facebook later. Try one more time just to see if it's stuck. All right, let's go ahead and just get started then. Welcome, everyone. Say hello if you are on YouTube or Zoom. I would just like to say hello. Hello, Nina. Hello, Katya. I hope I'm saying that properly. Beautiful name. I am happy to be here with all of you. Hello, Elizabeth. I'm super, super excited for this call. I want to welcome you to the Mount Shasta Retreat Information Call. We're going to have a wonderful day to talk about an upcoming retreat. I've started leading retreats, and I plan to be leading retreats in my business now. And I have one coming up in May of 2025. And so today is just a little bit of information for you. We're going to talk about how retreats in general, and especially sacred sites and vortexes like Mount Shasta and other places I'll be traveling, can really accelerate your spiritual growth. I want to talk a bit specifically about the power of Mount Shasta and all of the multidimensional vortexes that are there. It connects you with the Lemurians, St. Germain. It's considered the root chakra of the earth. It is also connected with Archangel Gabriel. So there's just so much powerful sacred energy there. And then you're going to experience a guided meditation journey. And I thought this would be powerful, whether you choose to join me at the retreat or not, just to tune into the energy of Mount Shasta and really feel that alchemical energy that's available for you. And of course, you can tune in to see if there's a message for you from the mountain, from the energy of the mountain, or any of the guides there, as well as just feel in if this retreat is right for you. If it is, I would love to meet you in person and continue to support you on your transformational journey. And that is what we're going to be doing. Hello, Lulia, Katya. Yes, beautiful. I'm glad. Richard, Alice, Vicky, Ryan. Beautiful. Okay, so we have Karen over here, Melanie on YouTube as well. All right, so let's go ahead and just jump into the content for today, and then I'll check questions, of course, as we go along as best I can as well. So first, I just want to say, I don't know, let me know in the comments below, have you ever been on a destination retreat? Now, a retreat meaning like a spiritual retreat, more like one on a pilgrimage or a spiritual journey that's really designed for self-care, self-evolution, anything to do with just that type of retreat. I would love to know. So it looks like some have, some know. Yes, Sedona. Oh, that's on my list to check out as well. Beautiful. Okay, so for me, I mean, retreats are just so amazing for transformation. My first retreat was back in 2009. I think I went to Hawaii to swim with the wild dolphins. And I remember seeing this poster board at a place where I was taking meditation classes, and they're talking about swimming with the wild dolphins, and my entire body and being and it got chills just not now even tuning into that energy. It just got my soul was like, yes, you have to be there. Yet because I'd never done something like that before, there was a part of me that was a little nervous, not knowing anybody else. And there was the biggest part for me was like the money, because I was a single self-employed mom, and we didn't grow up taking trips and vacations. My family, we never got on a plane together. It's like we drove a couple hours to the cabin in the mountains, to Lake Tahoe and, Disneyland and things like that. But we never got on a plane. So this was like, it was a big stretch for me, but my soul was like, yes, 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 yes. And once I went to that first retreat, it took a little bit of moving through my fears and doubts. I had to work with my angels on how to help me manifest the money. And it was a really amazing miracle story. To just manifest the money in really miraculous ways and be able to go, right? As soon as I said yes to it, it's like the universe supported me. And once I went on that retreat, oh my goodness, I had so much transformation. I was hooked. I think I went for the next 5 years in a row to that retreat. The next year I was paid as a healer to go for a couple of weeks. And since then I've been to Egypt and Morea to swim with the humpback whales and all sorts of places to really honor my own spiritual path and journey. And so it's been on my heart for a really long time to know that I wanted to also just give people this experience. There's something magical that happens when you get out of your own element and out of your own comfort zone in a way, right? When you get out of your own day-to-day routine, it creates this pattern interrupt in your field, and it allows you to, like, I just would get this so much clarity, right? Each year it was kind of like this reset for me to go, oh, this is how I'm going to really reset the energy of the year and think about what I want to create. And then it was a matter of just going home and working through the steps to do it. And then the next year I would get out of my own space, get out of my own head, get out of all the demands of the days, of my expectations of my family or whatever, and then just see clearly again what I wanted to create. And so I've been using retreats as a way for my own healing journey, for my own expansion journey, for my way of aligning with my higher path and purpose for ever since, many, many years since. And every time it's just, it's pretty much priceless in terms of how it's supported me. And I know how it can support you as well. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. And Mount Shasta is the one that we're going to be talking about in particular today, because I have a retreat coming up in May of 2025. It's a 5-day retreat. We'll share more about that at the end, as well as we have some really great special pricing and things going on, and some extra bonuses and extended payments for this January. So I wanted to share that for sure. And so let's just kind of kick in. So as I mentioned, when you get out of your own day, sometimes it's your own mind about, when we really are looking at, and let me know in the comments as well, do you feel called to be of service in the world? Or are you on a spiritual path and journey of awakening where, whether you want to have a career or business, you just know that you are here to live your highest potential. You're here to align with your soul. You're here on a spiritual awakening journey. Most of the people in my community are. And that's really what this retreat in particular is going to be really beautiful for. I think you can set your intention for that in all retreats, but this retreat in particular with Mount Shasta is meant for that purpose. It's about aligning your higher self and your 3D self, your personal life and your spiritual path, like getting into alignment with your higher path and purpose, whatever that might be for you. And it really lends a lot to being able to have your own intentions about what it is you want to create as well. So again, kind of coming back to the retreat, sometimes we can get into our own head about it, especially if we want to create a business. I know creating my spiritual business was definitely my biggest spiritual growth. I had to go through a lot of moving through fears and doubts and fraud, what do they call it? Fraud, sin, not fraud so much, but anyways, fear of visibility, fear of speaking truth. I can't even really quite think of the name, but it's basically imposter syndrome, right? Where you kind of oh, here, I'm going to do this, but is that really me, right? Because when we're making a big identity shift, our ego will fight it. Our reflection of our current life will fight it. Our family and our friends might be naysaying from a loving space, even maybe from maybe from a judgmental space, but also even from a loving space, oh, isn't that risky? Or are you sure? What are you doing? You might have concerns from people. And so it makes it difficult to not keep bouncing in and out of that doubt, right? Or to question all of your decisions or what it is you want to do. And so that's one thing I love about retreats is you get out of your own environment and out of everything for just enough time to really focus on you. It also, most of the people in my community, let me know in the comments, it's still relevant if you're not, but do you consider yourself a highly sensitive person or an empathic person, intuitive person? Sometimes we can really start to get confused and overwhelmed by what are our feelings of doubt and fear versus other people's as well, which kind of adds another layer of confusion to having clarity, right? Being able to take the steps forward. The other aspect is that in that group of people, and I would say if you're here, probably going to resonate for you, even if you don't consider yourself all of the above. Yes, me too. Is that we tend to give more than we receive, right? So this, especially in the Mount Shasta retreat, in particular, once you get there, everything's taken care of. We have a beautiful retreat center. The retreat, I loved it because the owner, he took such care. You can just see every nook of the house, every statue, every crystal, everything was just thought out with such high intention, right? With a high vibration. And he even planted this meadow area, this lawn area for meditation or yoga or, just chilling out with 4 different types of yarrow and different types of, I forget all of the types of grass and things, but it's all plant medicine in a sense, really healing. They all have intention. So everything about the property being right there at this mountain with all of this magical portal energy is just amplified. And we even have like a private chef coming in. We have massage. And the only thing that's not included, of course, personal services like massage and energy work and reading work. But we'll have that there if you want to add that on. Just being there and letting somebody take care of you and hold the space for you and cook for you was extremely healing for me. I didn't realize how much I needed that when I first took my retreats. I didn't realize as a single mom, I was just like single self-employed mom, owning a business, running a household, had my daughter soccer, wearing all these hats. And so it was just what I did, right? But I was getting into burnout and overwhelm, which led me to my awakening. Whole nother story there. But what it did was it really balanced my ability to receive more. And so I started to receive more money, more health, more happiness, more fulfillment, because I balanced that receptivity muscle, which I think a lot of us here are used to giving more than we're receiving, oftentimes in relationships or just in life. Like we tend to be working hard a lot of times, right? Or giving a lot of ourselves. And so this is a beautiful way to kind of heal that, have that balance. It gives you this really powerful like reset to your nervous system. It's like it really showed me every time I'd go, I kept switching my barometer of what I was tolerating. Like when I first went, my nervous system was so shot. I had no idea that I was just riding on the high edge of stress and just go, work this, that, just doing, like I had no idea at the time. I was just numbing through food and alcohol. I didn't know anything about meditation. I was just like burning the candle at both ends, but that was normalized. So then you add like planning Thanksgiving or a birthday party into the mix, or a car issue or something, happening. It just threw me into like massive overwhelm because my normal state was at such what now I consider a maxed out stress barometer, but that was normal. So every time I'd go on retreat, I'd like reset, like, oh, this is what it feels like to slow down. This is what it's meant to feel like. This is how I can actually create my life and my business from this set point. So I kept resetting my set point, right? And really healing my nervous system of all of that extreme overwhelm. And that's where now I feel like, I've been able to continue to do that over the years, right? And really reset my life and business in a way that it feels like I'll often say it's like a spiritual retreat in my life, because I have made the priority of self-care and massage and meditation in the morning and shorter work hours so I can have my morning to do my work, do my Zumba or take a walk or whatever it is I need to do, meditation, journaling, all things that really keep me aligned and balanced, right? So something that you'll notice there is that you'll really reset an imbalance, and it will shed a light of awareness if you're not aware of it as well, for sure. And it kind of showed me how to get out of survival mode and not always shelf my dreams. It like helped me. This is how I used retreats each year to like reset as a way to really manifest and live the life that I get to live now, which is a life I love, empowering others to live the life they love and to know that you're a powerful creator and activate your gifts and, develop your intuition and align with your purpose and clear your fears. Like that is really what I get to do. And it feels so fun because it's just like what I love to do and talk about, right? It makes me feel very fulfilled knowing that I can help people. And so it's like in these retreats, you get this immersion, which for an extended period of time that allows you to really anchor into this new set point in so many different areas. And when you go back, you still have to maybe work the energy to calibrate there, but it's so much easier because you've really landed in this energy and reset yourself that when you go back into your real life, right, you actually know how and what steps, and you start to gradually be able to move yourself to make big changes that maybe you previously had been stuck in. So let me know if that resonates, or if you've been to retreats, if you've noticed any of those things. There's definitely more benefits I've noticed from taking retreats, but I'd love to hear any benefits that you've had, or if that makes sense to you, what I'm sharing, because it was one of those things like I didn't know what to expect. I just knew my soul was like, yes, I have to go. And I'm like, but how am I going to pay for it? Right. And then I asked my angels and guides, please show me how. I don't know how, but I'm willing to allow. And this idea came to me. They sent me the idea of just I did hair and makeup at the time, wedding money, all the cash in a box, and then check it, 6 months down the road. And 6 months down the road, I had all the cash to do it. And still, it was hard for me at first. I had to move through all this fear of like, what would my parents say? Or all this guilt, or I should be paying my taxes, or, all the mental chatter. And at that moment, my teacher was like, are you triggered? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, and I just threw the money at her because like hundreds of dollars of bills, $2,700, like it just flew all over the room. And we both laughed because even though it felt like it was about the money for me, I had the money and I was still hesitating at first because of all of that conditioning about, like, I don't know, being selfish, I guess, giving to myself and all the things. But then I realized that I would be prohibiting myself from manifesting more in my life. I was like saying I couldn't create that money again if I didn't do it. So like, then I did it. And then of course I just started doubling, and I literally have doubled my income. Like this short period of time, I started really just, my life changed exponentially. Can't promise I doubled my income that year, but like, as I look back at that, that was a catalyst for when I had massive extreme quantum shifts. And I know that it can happen for others as well. I return home empowered and whole. I love that, right? It is. It's just such a beautiful reset. And especially, the Mount Shasta trip in particular, I'll tell the details in just a second why. But it's so much about just aligning with yourself, your higher self, your true self, your divine aspect, who you are and who you came to be. Right. And at that simplistic form, everything else will follow. Abundance, your purpose work. If you feel called, all of the clarity starts to come in when we really can get into that embodiment. But other ways that spiritual growth, especially through sacred sites and powerful energy vortex type places, it awakens and heals your energy, awakens your psychic and intuitive gifts, helps you call back your energy and information from other lifetimes. Sometimes, like when I went to the UK and to Egypt, especially, well, not even especially, in every place, I feel like I'm calling my energy back. In Hawaii, felt the same way, right? The Big Island, Moray, all of it. Actually, every time I go somewhere, I'm called, usually because there's a part of my soul that's experienced that before in another lifetime, and I'm calling my energy and information back. And we're also, as light workers, I think, often called to travel. Let me know in the chat, do you feel like, whether you have or have not yet in this lifetime, does the idea of travel excite you? Right? Like a lot of times it is, because of that, we're like called. Every time we visit a place, we get to touch into that energy vibration, and it feels familiar, and it reactivates that within our conscious awareness now, right? Those gifts and that information that we had, that we mastered in another lifetime. Sometimes we're there to clear karmic patterns too, but that's why we're there, right? And then on the other side of it, we get to drop energy and like heal the planet as light workers, right? We're grounding and bopping up energy of light all over the planet. And as we all do that, we're making a grid, a crystalline grid that's awakening and making it easier for the collective energy to step into that. Like that's the byproduct, right? Another thing is that you just start to get downloads from the divine downloads. You start to get, I call them uploads from the earth, because when I went to Egypt and the Great Pyramid in particular, we did some sound healing. We had a private group that went to there. And I did some sound healing, and from the King's Chamber, it was like I elevated into, I could see the dimensions of the cosmos. It was intense and amazing. And then in the Queen's Chamber, I connected with the earth, and I started what I call getting uploads from the earth, right? Just like downloads from the cosmos. I know that's linear, but that's how it feels. Like I'm getting information from the higher frequency of the planet, which is also can be powerful. We get to clear karmic lifetimes from the current timeline as well as other timelines. Awaken new clarity and insight, activate your gifts in your spiritual awakening, activate light codes, your soul blueprint remembrance, and just that general remembrance of who you are, right? And just like, I love how she simplified I return home empowered and whole. Absolutely. And that's what it feels like when you are aligned with yourself, right? When we don't have that disconnect. It's like, I feel at home, right? In my heart and in my soul and in my body. And that's amazing. So in Shasta, yes, I feel called to swim with the dolphins right now. I know they stopped doing it in Hawaii. They changed the regulations. Otherwise, I would be doing that one. But it's probably won't be till 2026. But I am kind of looking at potentially Egypt, the Red Sea. You can do with the spinner dolphins, which is amazing. So that might be on my horizon. I want to go experience that for myself first. But yes, otherwise I would be doing that one. They don't allow it anymore though, unfortunately, which I get it. Some people ruin it for the whole, but when you're spiritually aligned with the dolphin, I've swum with them over 40 times in the wild, and they just, oh my God, they're amazing healers and teachers and playful, and like the amount of spiritual growth and awakening I've gotten is just incredible. As well as the energy from Atlantis and Lemuria, especially the water-based planets, if you feel from there. Let's see. So coming back to Mount Shasta, there's so much there. I mean, the entire energy field is you just feel it. It's almost like you don't have to do any energy work there, and the mountain's working on you all the time, right? In a very gentle but powerful way. The Mount Shasta is considered to be the root chakra of the earth. And what I find to be very unique about Mount Shasta and the energy vibration there is that it's like, again, it really, we're going to be doing a lot of work on deprogramming the outdated, fear and survival and limitations that we have in our 3D experience and in the body and all the things, and really resetting with that vibration of that higher energy, because that's one thing that just being there in the energy we can do. But it also is an elevator, like, to the cosmos. So it has this unique, interesting energy that is both grounding and foundational, and really working with your root chakra and your body, and what we need. We have to develop that. A spiritual awakening journey, so many empaths and sensitives are out of their body and in these upper realms of the out of body chakras, and kind of out of their body because it's too overwhelming on some level. Because they haven't learned how to have energy boundaries and all the things, right? It's something I teach in my programs and things, because I'm very passionate. I was that person, and it was hard. And it doesn't have to be. It can be your greatest gift. But my bottom line is that we're very comfortable up here, right? But we have to ground into our physical body, or we won't manifest. That's why there's a lot of spiritual, like, a lot of people on their spiritual path might have to have gone through a level of struggle with money, or with their body, or with, the earthly realm, because there's a level of disconnect. And so what happens is Shasta is such a rooted, grounded, high vibrational root chakra energy that we can really work with that. And the earth star, our earth star chakra, and the earth chakra of the earth chakra of the earth, our earth star chakra, and our root chakra, to create a stability and groundedness, which will allow us to really manifest in the physical world in a way that feels good to us, right? Allow us art to come to fruition what we want. At the same time, it's also connected with Lemuria. Let me know if you're interested in the energy of Lemuria. You don't have to be to get benefit of Mount Shasta, but if you are, it's extra benefit, right? Because the energy of Lemuria, which is this portal way to the 5D, into the higher energy, into the cosmos, really, and you can just simplify it to your higher self, right? To the universe, to the divine consciousness. And so you've got this energy being held in this, it's almost like this crystalline pillar that activates our own crystalline pillar, right? The macro and the micro, to be connected and rooted in a very foundationally grounded way as a human being, embodying our spiritual self. And that is ultimately what's happening in the energy of Shasta, because there's such a high frequency above and below. And we get to match that just by being there. We start to get that healing. And of course, we'll be doing energy work and, transformational things during that time as well. But it amplifies your own 3D to 5D embodiment, which is really what our spiritual journey is all about. Embodying our higher self into our physical realm, acclimating into the 5D and above energy, while being grounded as a human, so that we can enjoy and create an amazing life that we came here to live, right? We're not meant to suffer. We're meant to be prosperous and abundant and healthy and wealthy in all ways, and how we feel, and our energy, and our fulfillment in life, and our financial areas, and all of it, right? I know I had Lemuria as a Pleiadian. Lemurian, I know I incarnated in Lemuria as a Pleiadian starseed. I love it. Yeah, there's a lot of that. If you're a starseed, you'll really resonate. You don't have to be a starseed, but if you're a starseed, you will resonate with the vibration there for sure. A lot of us were incarnated as starseeds into Lemuria at Atlantis for sure, and that energy gets to be activated, especially with Lemuria. Now, some other energy there is Saint Germain. So we're working with the transmutative energy of Saint Germain. Saint Germain's energy is very present there, right? It's like that's kind of an energy where he works within, as well as Archangel Gabriel, who's the messenger angel. So especially for those who feel called to speak or write, or have a purpose or a vision to share their message in some way. Definitely not limited to, because Archangel Gabriel works with a lot of people. One of the first archangels I met on my spiritual path in 2008, and worked with ever since. But those are all energy, like the presence of all of their energies are very much there. So you've got and there's multiple vortexes that we'll be visiting and meditating and working with as well. But just being in the energy of the retreat center at the base of that mountain, it's like you're constantly being energetically acclimated and calibrating up your vibrational field, which is powerful. And then you add intentionality to that, and it gets to be even that much more powerful and palatable. Let's see. Suffering is all a part of it. I mean, I think that we shouldn't judge ourselves if we've suffered. And I think that sometimes we prolong our suffering a lot more than necessary as human beings, where we don't have to. I think that there is a level of, like, most of us don't go through our awakening unless we kind of push it to a point where we've had dark night of the soul and had a level of suffering, but we're not meant to be in prolonged periods of suffering. I think that is a human condition that we fight, we hit resistance. Now, we've had those, and as long as we're using it as a way to transmute our energy, right, and elevate ourselves forward, that's great. But the more that you work your energy on your spiritual path, you don't really have to go through that suffering in the way that you maybe did initially to start your path. And if you're in prolonged periods of it, it's not, it's really up to us how long we stay in that energy. But we shouldn't judge ourselves if we have been in the energy or we fall in the energy, because all now the first part of the next step of transformation, right? So we kind of only got to find that line. But I think a lot of people stay in suffering and a lot longer than they need to, because it's not like, oh, you're getting hit with a 2x4 by the universe. No, our own fear energy attracted something that now we're being called to transform forward. And we didn't, if we're honest, before our dark night of the souls, we have many of them, but usually we have a big one where we went from unconscious to conscious. We had those whispers that we ignored. So what happens is you start to get more equipped and tools to learn how to notice the whisper and make adjustments proactively, and then you don't hit that. So what I notice now is I don't hit as much of that energy, but when I do hit things, I know how to shift out of it. And something that may have had me stuck for months or years, I can either avoid altogether because I can see it and listen to the whisper instead of making it get to a slam, or I know what the tools are if something happens like unexpected. I have a lot of faith and cultivated over the years, right? So I think that we work with that resistance when we are aware of it, but we don't have to sit in it, right? I hope that makes sense. Love Lemurian crystal. Yep, here, I have this right here. I actually got this Lemurian crystal, which has a lot of powerful energy and information in it, at Mount Shasta quite a long time ago. The first time I went there, I think it was maybe like 2017 or something. I don't know, something like that. I went there for like a channeling conference. Okay, so I'm just kind of looking at the comments really quick. Yes. Okay. So let's chat a little bit about this upcoming retreat. And then we're going to do a guided meditation journey. I kind of like to end with the meditation journey because it feels, it feels really nice. And I think whether you decide to come on the retreat or not, I think you can dip into the energy and see if it's for you, kind of tune in. But I think you'll also be able to get some messages and a little energetic shift today from that. At least that's, that is my intention for you. So let me just go ahead and share. I've got two computers going for this in order to screen share. So give me 1 second to get this organized on both. And then we can see, because I want to show you the information page, and I'll share the information page with you as well and be able to answer any questions in just a minute. I might not be able to see your questions while I screen share, but I will come back to them. Okay, so let me see what I got going here. Okay, so I think we're live on both. All right. So are you good on Zoom? And I'm curious on Zoom, do I need to expand my picture? Are you seeing my whole computer screen share with all the folders, or just the Shasta? Okay, so here's the energy of Shasta. Here's the energy of Shasta. Somebody's asking what airport do you recommend? I have air info. I'll show you in just a second for that. And I think I recommend getting a car. It could be ideal, especially if you plan to stay longer, depending on how far you're coming from. There is some limited availability for shuttling. So you'd have to reach out to me if you needed that, because there's limitation on how many people we can do that for, but we could do that. But I think a car is nice because you might want to explore other areas or stay a little longer. You do not need to be super fit or better than a couch potato. I personally am not an avid hiker or anything like that. And I walked all of the trails we're going to do, and all of them are optional. There's one that maybe has 5 to 7 minutes of like, get your heart rate up a little bit, but you could stop earlier if you don't want to go to that final descend. And it's actually still not that bad. It's all what I would say moderate and big, stable trails. So it's nothing that you have to be equipped for. Okay, and you don't have to go. If you don't want to on all of them, you can stay at the beautiful retreat center. Okay, so let's go ahead and just sort of move through this. So and just to mention, we have limited time special for January. We have the most extended payment plan that I have available is a 5-pay plan, and that ends the end of January because we're approaching, it needs to be paid before you go to the retreat. And so it's going to shift into only having 4 months to pay it instead of 5. So right now is the lowest price. There's also a bonus of having 3 workshop bonuses. So if you've ever done my monthly workshops, they each have a video activation on a different theme for star seeds and awakening and your gifts and different types of topics. You can choose out of 43 of them. And then you also are getting $500 off. So that is going to be guaranteed only through January 31st. So that's something to note. And so basically, here's some pictures. These are all pictures I took from Shasta when I went there this last fall. But I want to share a little bit, and some of this is what I just shared with you. Some of the highlights of what we're going to be doing is taking breathtaking nature walks, sacred sites, waterfalls. We're going to go to a fresh water spring, do meditations at these 5D meditations at the different vortexes. It's all about rejuvenating your body, mind, and spirit. We're going to be recalibrating your root chakra to release those outdated patterns and programming from our ancestral line, but also from society, from our other lifetimes that are limiting us and what it is we get to experience, so that we can expand and manifest in the physical world more easily with health, with financial, with happiness, with all of it. Whatever your personal intention is, that's really what you'll be working with. But this is like generally we're going to be aligning with a higher soul, which is always going to lead us to everything else, right? High-level activations to expand your consciousness and accelerate your journey, your ascension journey to commune with your higher self, connect with amazing like-minded community. There's going to be additional, this part would be an add-on service, but body work, massage, intuitive readings. You're going to be pampered with a private chef who's going to be serving us very healthy and delicious meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner on site. And that's just amazing because it does not feel good. I love that part of it. We will also be doing, raising, the whole intention is to really raise your vibration and your consciousness to align with your 5D timeline, using and working with the elevated frequencies of Mount Shasta. In the springtime, it's absolutely gorgeous. There's running waterfalls. There's fresh, vibrant green trees. You never knew there were so many colors of green, meadows, flowers, creeks. It's just beautiful energy. The weather should be clear. I mean, weather's weather, but it's the time of year that usually the average is 65 to 71 degrees. We had clear, sunny skies, which is nice, beautiful for walks. We're going to be touching on and going to multiple sacred sites so that you can harness that energy for yourself. We're going to add, on some days, we'll have some transformational type journeys and workshops to align with your highest timeline. The lodging's beautiful. I'll show you in just a moment. There's lots of different options. We have glamping tents as well as cabins, as well as there's one spot left on the indoor main house. And everything is comfortable. All of the beds and pillows are super comfy. And even if you're in the glamping tents, they're so cool, actually. And they have electric heaters and they have electric blankets. And so you won't be cold. And then we have, again, a private chef who will be serving healthy, organic, plant-based meals, which is beautiful to kind of give like a light elevation and detox for the energy work we'll be doing. And then breathtaking views, energy reset, like-minded souls, and family. It's like you become a family. Here's an idea of what a day might look like. This is kind of the loose itinerary that I am planning. However, I always want to work with the energy of the group, the energy of the intuition in the mountain, because everything there is very synchronistically guided. But this is what I am planning. It's the first day we arrive. We get settled in. You can check in as early as 3 o'clock. You'll want to get there between shoot for 3 o'clock. We aim to have an opening ceremony at 4 p.m. To really set our intentions, introduce each other, and get you settled into your room. And then we'll have a private, we'll have our dinner together and an optional sound bath of some kind. Sound bath and energy work in the evenings will happen to help you integrate. Here's some pictures of things I took. This is the property. They have hammocks and infrared saunas, and it's just beautiful. There's lots of property there. This is one of the places that I want to take us to, and it's again, we'll have a transformational workshop most likely that morning. And then we'll start to release and transform our limitations. And after breakfast, we'll go to Fairy Falls, which is like this really healing, magical fairy portal, it feels like, right? Just like so much sparkly, high vibrational energy there. And then we'll come back after that. It's just like I said, this is the short hike. There's 3 different levels. So there's like a flat, you could stop there. There's the next level, which again, really easy to get to. You stop there. And the next one, there's like a 5-minute, like, okay, that I felt my heart rate a little bit, but it's still pretty easy. But there's many ways along the way. If you don't want to do that, you can decide. But then that evening will probably be, that is when I plan to do the burning bowl ritual outside. They have a powerful fire pit. And again, it's placed on this, with the meadow that he did, it all has like 4 different elements of types of plants energy that he worked with specifically for helping this process and ceremony as well, which will be night in the beautiful starlit sky. Oh my gosh, it's just so clear weather and air up there. We're also going to be collecting some we're also going to be going to a place where we can collect the mountain spring water and like setting and charging our water with our intentions. So that will be really powerful. We're going to then do the next day, we'll be going to a couple of places. Ascension Rock is the multidimensional vortex. We'll be doing a higher self alignment and / if you feel connected with the Lemurian vibration, it's said to be where a portal way to the Lemurian vortex that's placed beneath the mountain there. So we'll definitely be checking into that. Then we'll take it. This is like a super flat, easy walk, beautiful and well worth it. Again, a beautiful area. You can just stop, or we'll have lunch. Actually, I figure a picnic lunch will be powerful there. And then if you want to walk down to see the falls, you can. It's optional, but it's beautiful. And then we'll be going into Hedge Creek Falls. Again, this is another really sweet waterfall. This is where the spring water is as well, kind of the activated intention. We're working with crystal grid energy to anchor our intentions to take home, which is going to be really nice. And we'll have a picnic I'm planning at the botanical garden there, which is just so gorgeous, such high vibration, and just relax. You can always, when we come back, there'll be definitely built-in time to just relax around the retreat center. Again, they have options to have body work there, massage, intuitive readings, infrared sauna, just lots of different places, hammocks to chill. And then the day 5, we'll wake up, we'll have our closing ceremony. We're going to anchor all the magical energy. And then you'll want to be heading out by no later than 11 a.m. and then head back home, refreshed and revitalized. Here is the information. Now, one thing that I did offer that's brand new, and I'll show you this in a moment, the most that I can offer, because I need to be paid, there's so much overhead cost, right? I need to be paid before the retreat. So 5 payment plan is open through January, then it will move to a 4 payment plan. There's also in full and 3 pay, I believe. But I started working with Klarna and Affirm. And Klarna and Affirm, I'll show you how to do that, but they have, I've seen it as low as $122 a month. So basically you have to go, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute, to get a lower, more extended plan that's through them. And that's another way you can get a more affordable place. I've heard that's all for participating countries. I don't control that. I think Canada and UK don't participate, but Europe and all of the United States and most places do. Let's see, day 1 is the day you're going to arrive, right? So you want to get there about 3 p.m. We're going to have our opening circle and ceremony. We're going to set forth intention, get to know each other, get settled in, and then have a powerful dinner. And then have a sound bath. And in the evenings, we'll be offering just optional, either sound bath, energy work, something to kind of help you integrate and go into a peaceful night's sleep, if you like that kind of thing. All right, so now let's look at the different room options. There's a retreat agreement you'll want to read. There are no cancellations or refunds. There's, I do suggest getting travel insurance. When I looked at it, it was only a couple, like under $200, I think, to get like fully covered for yourself in case something happens, right? Because I'm covered. I have to pay for, there's too much overhead basically. So just know that if you sign up, you need to be prepared to go. And I would recommend that way you're fully covered if something happens. But there's also a nice meditation area space where we'll be doing our stuff. There's an outdoor deck, lawn area. Oh yeah, it has yarrow, clover, dandelion, and violets, along with other native grasses. They're all herbs for medicinal and special healing and inducing reflective experiences. So that's what's really nice there. There's a shala where we'll be doing some more workshops. Well, it depends, out either in there or on the back deck is really beautiful as well. There's plenty of spaces to do it. Here's just an idea of some of the pictures of the indoor and outdoor space of the place. Is a very clean, newly renovated environment. Again, very tastefully done, very done with a lot of intention and a lot of just, it's really, really beautiful all the way around. So this is, again, just kind of like the inside and outside areas of where we'll be staying. And this is that little outdoor, that's the bathroom outside. It's always well lit. Back deck, we might be probably be doing some workshopping there. That's where we'll be eating. Just kind of show you some of those photos there. All right, so let's go here. So there's some different, here are the payment options, and then I'll show you how you can do the Klarna if that's something you might need. But here's the payment options I can offer for you in terms of the glamping tents, which has 3 people. So, and again, I don't know if you saw the glamping. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Look how cute they are. They are so cute. And they have soft, like, I think they're like down, like they have goose, like down comfy beds and comforters. Now, if you're allergic to that, you can let us know. He has come across that. So he has alternative blankets if you need that, but they are very cozy and high quality, which is nice. But yeah, you don't have to worry about being cold. It's well lit. There's outdoor facilities for if you have to go to the restroom, as well as indoor. We have a main house. You can always use the indoor facilities as well. But there's also outdoor showers that are private and outdoor bathtub even that are private, which is kind of nice. I mean, first time I did that in a retreat, I was like, that's kind of awkward. And I was like, oh my gosh, it feels so liberating. So there's lots of options there. And then we have the cozy cabins, which are also very cute. And I believe that these ones mostly are 2 people, and they could be 3. You don't have to have your own roommate. I'm going to do my best to pair you up, right? And so you'll see that there's double occupancy cost. You could talk to me about single occupancy. It's a little bit of an increase, of course, because we can only put 1 person, not 2. But you can reach out to me and to see if that is still available if you'd like. But I think it's always fun. I've had many times where I've had roommates. It's always very synchronistic. There's plenty of time, and their property's huge. You know, I mean, we're going to be out a lot, so it shouldn't be any kind of yeah. I think it's actually kind of nice. You'll find it's very synchronistic who you end up with. I find, right? And sometimes people become lifelong friends. The indoor main house has just 1 spot left, and it's a double occupancy. So you'll get a queen bed of your own, and there's another person with a queen bed in there. And this is very gorgeous as well. So this is also in the main house is where there's, you know, where we have a lot of our meditation room, and we have a whole like fireplace and indoor kitchen and all the amenities as well. You could take your showers inside if you wanted to as well, but you can see how nicely decorated it is. It's a very beautiful space. So if we are going to go on to looking at, as an example, how you would look at Klarna for some of you that might need that. And then I'm going to, well, let me come back. I said I would talk about the airports. So if you scroll down to the bottom, you can see like what's included, what's not, basically airfare, transfers to your car, getting to the retreat center, travel insurance, and personal expenses. So once no alcohol is included, right? So once you get to the retreat center, things are taken care of, except for if you want to get like personal services, one-on-one services like a massage. Logistical information is going to share with you the airport situation. Medford, Oregon tends to be the biggest. It's that both of them are close to a little over an hour. So I think Medford, Oregon is about an hour and a half drive, or between an hour and 20, an hour and a half drive. And it is the biggest international airport. So it probably has the most options that you would have there. And then Redding is another one. If you're from Sacramento, it's about a 3 hour and 15 minutes to 3 hours and a half drive, depending on kind of where you're at. That's where actually I am. So if you're in the, depending on where you live, you might drive there. But if you could also fly there, but then it's more like a longer drive. So Bedford, Oregon is probably where you're going to find the best flights and easiest transportation. As I mentioned, we have limited ability to shuttle you, but it would be $100 each direction if you need a shuttle. And I know that they shuttle from Bedford, Oregon. Okay. So that one is the one you want to check. And then international travel, if you're coming from international, you want to check about your passport. It needs to be valid. at least 6 months from your return date. And there's plenty of time to get that still, but you'd want to get on it if you don't have one and you're out of the country. And then visa, you have to just check on that. I think each country might be different. So you just have to check if you need a visa. Okay, so if you're coming over here, so you pick which one. So glamping tent, cozy cabin. I'm just clicking the glamping tent and you'll see the checkout page here. You can just simply choose whichever option you would like. So in full is $23.97, 3 pay is $7.99, and 5 pay is $4.80. And that's just, again, for the month of January that I can offer the 5 pay. And the extra discount at that rate is guaranteed through the 31st. But say you want to try Klarna and Affirm, you just have to check it. There's no harm, no foul. What you would do is you would click the in full, make sure it's the in full. You don't put your credit card information in. Instead, below, you click Affirm or Klarna, and you just see what they will be willing to offer you, if anything. Sometimes it says right there, so this is saying as low as $84 a month. Usually there's a period of time of interest free as well. And then there might be a little interest on whatever balance is left if you don't have it paid off in time. So that's, again, between you and them, but $84 there. Klarna is saying $122. So there's more reasonable ways that you could afford to go if you don't want to use that. You just click the in full and check the options. Does the pricing include? Yes. So the pricing includes all of your meals, all of your accommodations, all of the program. So once you get to Retreat Center, I can show you again on the base page. You can look at the bottom. It'll show what's included and what's not. But essentially, once you get there, you're covered, except for alcohol's not covered, except for personal massage, personal reading, and energy work that we might be offering. All of the workshops that I'm leading, all of the 3 meals a day, right? And likely a couple little snacks. Now, I recommend if you have your own favorite protein bar or snack, sure, pack a few, because when we go hike, you might want something more, but you're going to be fed well with 3 square meals for sure. And you don't have to worry about your physical level of activity. It's all very friendly, right? It's all very friendly. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, you scroll down here and you can see that. Let me check if there's any more questions on YouTube. What an amazing place. Yes. SSU got me out of suffering and transcendence. Yay. That's the program I lead for those of you that are new. That's super exciting. Live and create in the now, which just creates our reality. Absolutely, Carolina. Okay, so any other questions that you might have? I'm happy to answer any other questions that you might have. Let me stop the screen shares. There. All right. So yeah, it's going to be an amazing time. It's May 15th through 19th. And yeah, it's already shaping up to be an amazing group. I know that, sometimes the mind wants to get in there, might have some fears. I promise you, we have an amazing group coming. I'm very excited. Some of them are students that have been through my Soul Success Unleashed program and my mastery certification program that I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to meet you in person. This is so cool, because we've been together online for a while. And then some people are newer to me, maybe only done my free series or a workshop, or just kind of in my free Facebook group, which of course, if you're not on already, you can absolutely join that or follow me on YouTube. So yeah, there's kind of a range, but all of the energy of everybody is just, it's always like this very spiritual soul agreement. Sometimes you'll find is that you're meeting soul family. Like there'll always usually be a few people that you're like, oh my gosh, I recognize you as a kindred spirit, and lifelong friendships can birth from these types of retreats, which is very exciting and fun as well. Okay. So let's see. I think that's everything. Okay, well, let me share some links for you. So if you want to learn more, here is the page that you can check out. You can register. You can look at that. Everything we went over today, a little bit more on your own time if you'd like. If you have any questions, I'll share my email with you as well, so that you can email me any questions that if they do come up about about joining us, for sure. I'm happy. I want to make sure that you have all your questions answered. It's going to be May 15th through 19th. And yeah, I'm just super excited. It's going to be a magical experience. And I know, every retreat's always different, but you can start to feel the energy once people start to sign up. You just registered, Kelly. Oh my God. She's one that's in my program for a very long time. I'm so excited. This is going to be so much fun. So much fun. Okay, so let me know again any information. Oh yeah, my email. See, I definitely thought I saved this on a page so I could easily give it to you. So it's jen@soulsuccessunleashed.com, and I'm going to type it in, which is just going to take me a minute because I'm not the fastest typer. And I'm just hoping that I typed correctly. So make sure it says jen@soulsuccessunleashed.com. Yes. And I'm going to type it in over here. You took the last spot in the house. Okay, guys, now we got cabins, but everything there is cute. Everything there is adorable. Some people have chosen the glamping. They're like, I just want to be closer to nature. And other people, that's the beauty of this place I love as well. Is there's so much variety within it. Right? There's so much variety within it. I think there's something for everyone. The cabins are adorable. And like I said, there's well-lit paths so you can get to the main house easily. It's all very close. So you could use the restrooms inside if you wanted, or you can there's a couple of them. There's 3 in the house actually, but one's in a private room. So there's 2 to be shared. And then there's also like several outside and everything as well. So yes. All right, everyone. I think that is all I have. I do not see any more questions. But definitely check it out. It would be my honor. And also, let me give you one more link. And I will say, I did have a swim with the humpback whale and Maria trip. It's sold out at the moment. It's on there, and I haven't updated the page, but they just changed their parameters, and so I can take less people than I currently was originally able to as of last week. So, but you can always reach out to me if that's something that's way later down the year. But I just know that I haven't fully updated that page to say it's not available, but I am going to later today and tomorrow. So just know that it's not available, but this one is, and this is going to be incredible. Okay. This is your first spiritual retreat, and I'm so excited to meet you too, Kelly. It's going to be amazing. Okay. So I'm trying to find, oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. What was I trying to find for you? Oh yes. How to get to just my wait list. Like if this, maybe you're like, oh, May doesn't work for me, or I'm excited to the idea of a spiritual retreat, but I can't do the May 15th through 19th. Then you can also just at the very top of this page, you can register and just be on a wait list to be the first to hear. Okay. About future ones that I have. Cause I have ones I'm thinking of doing, not in 2025. I don't have anything else booked because I think I need to go to these places and, I want to go and check out the facilities before I schedule them. I don't want to just do it willy-nilly. But for 2026 and beyond, this is something I plan to do. And so, yeah, you can go here and just find out about all the other retreats that I'm offering as they're posting. There you go. So that bottom page is there. Okay. Good luck. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here with me. I really look forward to seeing you all again soon. Stay plugged into my community and email me with any questions if anything arises, or if you feel called to sign up. I would just be my honor, my pleasure to continue to see you and meet you in person. Transformational retreats in person are just like, it's like this immersion that just like whoosh, it expands in a gentle, powerful way. But I just can tell you that every time, this is why I do them every year for myself, because I'm just like, it just keeps my growth going, and it's amazing. All right. Bye, Katya. Bye, everybody. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.